complete this with some of your expectations, okay? What do you think the project should be about?
And tell us if you can see if you can access the Menti with this information. It is okay if you need to leave at any time. It's okay. We will share with you in some minutes the schedule for the class. You will be able to catch up later by watching the video or by just checking the virtual classroom. In the Menti, let me check. We have one participant. So could you all access?
Not yet.
I think some of you are new. We hope you can all take advantage of today's class and the classes that are to come. Right, so that we can all see. Can you all see the screen? Okay, so how valuable do you think the course content has been for your daily teaching practice? What are you sharing? So quite valuable, that's okay. If you have something else to add, feel free. So very many things to think about and consider when using AI. Yes, there are lots of things to reflect about the use of AI. It has been very valuable. Loved it. Thank you. Because we can now incorporate a new digital technology. That's right. What else? The course has already been helpful for me and my teaching practice. I was able to use different digital tools. And is there anything else you want to expand? Say something, wake up, have some tea, some coffee. So you have been using the tools. How has that been? How did you feel about it? Is there anyone who wants to share something by speaking? So you say it's valuable. You taught you definitely to want to keep learning. That's right. We have to continue learning all the time. And very valuable, very useful. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. But if you want to speak, you're also welcome. By the end, you will have also another opportunity to speak. So feel more comfortable with that. Okay, next one. Okay, so that was the first question. All right. We all think it is very valuable that you keep practicing and keep learning and keep using the tools. And we also share the idea that we need to continue learning and reflecting about that use. So the second question, can you see it? How confident do you feel using the technological tools and the AI tools learned in the course? Sometimes we need more time to practice and experiment. Really. That's what I really think. We really have an idea of how we feel or how confident we feel. Quite confident. I'm very confident. Yes, it's a question of practice, of experimentation. You learn a lot by doing, by applying them. And there is always something new to learn. That's for sure. Especially when the results are not what we expect immediately. Anything funny that has happened to you in using these tools? Okay. Okay. Well, there is someone here not very confident, and that's natural. We're all learning, as I said, and these tools always have a nuance. Yes, something new that we need to revise, or something that's not going to come out as expected. So do not feel you are out of the trend. We are all learning, all the time learning. Okay, 3 words. Can you see the next one? Mention 3 words that come to your mind when thinking of the final pedagogical project. And we said when I was showing the first slide of the presentation, all the names in Spanish, this module intends to give orientations on how to produce your final project. Let us try to make it very useful. Try to make everything we do and discuss in the classes useful for that final project.
Sorry, Paula, could you share the answers on screen?
Okay, yes. Check. There's a problem in connecting the okay. Okay. So the previous,
Okay, thank you.
so the 3 words that come to your so these are the 3 words that come to your mind when thinking of the final project. And one of the ways to reduce anxiety in this final project is that you need to start thinking from now on, make every opportunity during the classes that are coming a valuable opportunity for you to get nearer to that final result.
Exactly. The idea to have the first class about the final project was precisely to help you start thinking in advance about that project, right? So that you can make decisions along the way and, well, define what you really want to do, okay? So we'll be meeting you again at the end of this module. And we hope that by then you will have had the time to reflect on your final project and what you want to do, okay, with your students.
Okay, yeah, it's challenging, yes, we agree. Well, reflection, of course, all the time. We are all the time reflecting, but we are also asking you all the time to reflect, to bring that reflection to life, and to put it into words. So always think you need to be reflecting and portraying and displaying those reflections in writing. And that's part of the final project as well. Innovative, yes, innovative, yes.
Integration, that's also a key word.
Yes, a keyword, yes. Yes, everything should be integrated, reflective, and innovative in the sense that you Try to do something new, try to go out of the comfort zone, try something new, or probably something that was in your head that you wanted to do. And now it's like your moment to do it. Yes, interesting. Yes, interesting for you, for your students. It needs to be related to what you are already doing, and it's part of your curriculum design. Empowerment. Yes, I like that word. Yes, with all of this knowledge, you need to feel empowered and motivated. Yes, all the time. Consideration. That word is interesting. Engaging. Yes, engaging. And you have to pay attention to ethics. Yes, you read that class from last month. Yes, you need to be all the time very, very mindful of ethics and how to use these tools ethically. Yes, prompting. Yes, always there. Always something in the making. Always, we're always learning how to prompt, how to write a good prompt, or the most accurate. Okay, yes, and you're excited. Good, that's good. That is good. Hopefully, have you all written what you wanted to write? So I think we have these 4 words. So you need to reflect, you need to innovate, you need to face a challenge and make it interesting for everyone, for you, because in that way you keep motivation, and for your students who are the recipients and also participants. Yes, we all want our students to be integrated, yes, to be interested and participating actively in what we do. Okay. Yes, I think all of those words help us focus in the future. And the next one, I hope you can see. I think I have to go out and come back all the time. So the last question is an open-ended question as well. I need to write something. And share with you the last question. I remember when I used to work more with this tool. Okay, so what are your expectations about the final pedagogical project you need to design as the course requirement? What do you expect? Well, you have already said something with the words. Is there anything you want to ask also now? Open your microphones and ask openly, without fear. We can start solving problems or questions, so we can do it now, or be good. Yes, yes, challenging. Yes, you need to pay attention to lots of different issues, aspects, but it is possible to be done. Anything else? The document with the written guidelines will be uploaded to the virtual classroom. There you will find that. We will discuss now today, later, during the morning, the main issues. But if you have any doubt, you can ask us, yes? To be empowered for me and my students, yes, yes, and it is possible to be applied, yes. So it's a great aspect, yes. So to make it, try to put all of the elements together. So try to innovate, try to be creative, and innovative, but also try to make it doable, because that's the idea, yes, that you carry it out with your students. I would like to put it in practice, yes. I expect to make something innovative using all of the tools. Yes, using the tools. Also, don't overuse the tools. So it's difficult sometimes to keep the balance. The use of these tools need to be very mindful. You need to be very purposeful when using the tools. And of course, make it doable. Make it doable. Integrate your students. Yes. Try to cooperate with them in this complete project, and you will be able to carry it out, I'm sure. Creative and plausible. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Make it possible. Okay. And there is always a lot of venues. Also thinking for bigger projects for you as professionals, there are lots of venues in which you can share these projects and the application and the results of these projects with other teachers. So think you are also members of this community that can carry out these experiences beyond the class, beyond this space of academic discussion. Right? So don't just stay there with your knowledge or everything you have learned, but try to project to the others as well. So another expectation, I could use it with my classes. Yes, this year, next year. So sometimes time is a problem, you know. But yes, you can do it. Okay. That is it. If you have shared everything you wanted to share, we continue with the presentation of the class and different sections that we will be taking into account and discussing with you. We share the presentation, our presentation again. And thank you for sharing, as we have shared. And we are here to, as I said, answer any questions or anything that you seem is not clear, has not been clear so far.
Okay. Okay, so as Ms. Paula said, thank you everybody for sharing your ideas. So we have now arrived at module 3. Okay, some of you have been together for the first and second module, and I understand there are new people today. Is that correct? Some of you might be taking only module 3. Okay, all right, Florencia. All right, good. Well, those who took modules 1 and 2, you have arrived at the end of this journey. And well, now you will be challenged to integrate everything you have learned during along modules 1 and 2, okay? And to integrate ICT's AI creatively, okay? And in a way that you can put together all your knowledge, okay? Paula, if you could please, oh, there we go. Okay, so as you know, our students today are very much used to navigating through multimodal modes. They are also used to dealing with hypertext. They are consumers of this so-called snack culture. So they are used to having or accessing information that is very quick, right? And so we need to adjust to our students, okay? Because of this, we can no longer be just communicators of information, but we need to motivate our students to do inquiries, to collaborate with others, and to build knowledge together, right? That's why along this course, you've been encouraged to use authentic genres, which are the genres our students are dealing with every day, memes, podcasts, webcomics, to connect learning with real digital genres, right? So in this landscape, the activities that we should be using are especially consciousness raising activities to build multimodal literacy and source evaluation. Okay. Our students are expected to become prosumers, okay, in this context, and not just consumers of information. So this class will take into consideration different contexts, basically 6 specific areas. First of all, we will refer to the design of learning objectives in the digital era, okay, referring especially to a taxonomy that has been around for many decades now. However, this taxonomy has been updated not long ago to suit the needs of the digital age. Then we will move on to talk about the final project guidelines, and we will go through a step-by-step explanation, a detailed explanation of everything you're expected to do for the final project. Later on, we will also refer to the structural format of the final paper, okay, with the requirements in relation to word limits, to APA style, and everything that has to do with the format of the paper. Then we will talk about, especially about the didactic sequence that you are expected to produce. So we'll be working with digital tools that will lead you into the design of a lesson. We will also talk about project-based learning, okay, which has to do with active learning approaches that we can apply to ESL and the design of our curriculum. After the presentation, it's going to be a brief presentation of these aspects. You will be asked to get together in groups to work and collaborate in the design of a sequence, the didactic sequence, thinking already about your final project. Okay, so we will start talking about this taxonomy that I mentioned at the very beginning. All right. So for many decades, teachers and educators have been worried about designing educational objectives, right? So one of the most well-known taxonomies for the design of educational objectives was the one designed by Benjamin Bloom back in 1956. He was an educational psychologist from the United States who created this taxonomy that was meant to be a fundamental tool for understanding and structuring the learning process. He thought that learning should be divided into 3 domains: the cognitive, the affective, and the psychomotor domain. And although he defined all 3 of them, the cognitive one ended up being the most popular one, the most widely known. In this taxonomy that he proposed, he organized thinking skills into lower and higher thinking skills. He believed that to understand something, first you needed to remember it, and to apply knowledge, he believed that first you had to understand that knowledge. So his taxonomy describes each category with a noun and organizes them into an ascending order, right? However, well, this was done back in the 50s. So later on, in 2001, a former student of Bloom revised his taxonomy and made 2 changes to the original taxonomy. Anderson in 2001 then changed the labels of the taxonomy from nouns to verbs, and he placed the level of creating at the end, at the top of this taxonomy. Later on, this taxonomy was again revisited and adapted, but this time to suit the needs of the digital age. This was carried out by Churches in 2009, and he recognized how ICT has transformed educational learning. So he thought that digital tools nowadays should be catalysts for new cognitive activities. So he changed once again these levels in this taxonomy to illustrate how different activities, different digital activities and digital practices can be associated to the different cognitive processes of the original taxonomy. So in the following slide, you will see how there we go. Can you see it? Yeah. So here you can see how, for example, these labels of the lower thinking skills, like remembering, understanding, applying, they are all related to new digital practices such as highlighting, bookmarking, tagging, searching for basic information, doing or reading blogs, digital categorization. Among the activities for the level of applying, he identified, for example, the operating hardware, software, doing simulations, uploading, sharing information. Among the higher order thinking skills that were originally done or part of this taxonomy, the new activities, the new digital activities that were related to these levels were, for example, remixing tools, reverse engineering, mapping, blog commenting, moderating communities, programming, digital publishing, and the most important of all, probably, collaboration. Collaboration is essential. There's a mic open.
Sorry, I think that is Vanessa's microphone.
All right. So we can see how this original taxonomy to outline educational objectives has been transformed, has been updated up to or to suit the needs of the digital age. We hope that by reading this taxonomy and learning and getting information from it, you can outline your own educational objectives for your final project. Okay. You can read further about this in the class that has been uploaded. And of course that you can follow you can read the bibliography to expand, to know more about this taxonomy.
In the class that will be uploaded, the document, there you will find required readings and suggested readings. And Churches is there as a required reading. So we really invite you to go deeper into this topic.
That's right. Okay, so now that we have referred to these educational objectives for the digital age, let's now talk about the final project itself. Okay, so you will be expected to design as a final paper an individual pedagogical project to use with your learners. Okay, the project should show how ICT and AI reshape foreign language teaching and learning. Okay, so it's an individual kind of project with different components, with different sections. Okay, and it is expected to go beyond tool use to address also pedagogical, technological, and meta-reflective concerns. Okay, you should show innovation, as you said before, the first activity. It should be innovative It should be something you can really use with your students, okay? And of course, it should take the student as the center of learning, okay? And it should also involve collaboration. I said that the project consists of 3 parts, 3 components. The first one, would you please move ahead to section 1? There we go. Okay. All right, before talking about section 1, these are, here you have the proposed title for the project, which is supposed to be used by all of you. This is like the common title. You could probably then include some specifications about your own work, but we expect that you use the same, all right? So the proposed title is Designing and Reflecting on an Innovative Pedagogical Experience in the Digital Age, ICT and AI in the EFL Classroom. What is the main objective of this project? To demonstrate an integrated understanding of the course through the design, the justification, and critical reflection of an EFL teaching and learning experience using digital technologies and AI. So far, do you have any questions about the objectives or the title or anything that has been said so far? Feel free, please, to ask the questions you need, to comment on anything. Okay. So let's have a look at the first component of your final paper then. Okay. Okay. Which is the didactic sequence. Okay. In this section, you should present the basic elements of the didactic sequence. That is to say, the objectives of your final project, the curricular content you will be working with, the methodology you will be using, following, and the expected outcomes of this work, this project, for a specific group of students. So, of course, that I think most of you will be thinking about your own students. I think it's always better to think about people you really know, students you know, students you work with. And well, in this first section, you should, of course, have an introduction explaining the context in which this work will be developed, explaining the level, the age, and the proficiency level, of course, of your students, the context, whether your classes and the project will be developed in a face-to-face mode or whether your classes will be online or blended. In this first section of the project, you should also include a justification for your paper, for your work. That is to say, the theoretical foundations should be explained here. You should refer to authors or the bibliography you are using as a background for your work, okay? And then you have to include the didactic sequence, step by step, listing, specifying not only the duration of each stage, but also explaining or referring to opening, developing, and closing activities, whether you include follow-up activities. Everything should be described in this section, together with a list of materials, the digital tools you will be using, the AI products. All of the links that you need to include should be part of this first section of your paper, right? Okay. Then the final project includes a second section in which is actually expected or has to be developed by those students who took the 3 modules of this course, okay? Because here you are expected to expand something you worked with in module 1, which is the Symbaloo. I don't know if you remember that. when you made your personal learning environment. Remember that you included a few pedagogical tools there. Okay, here now in your final work, you are expected to update your PLE with for showing a strong understanding of how technology supports critical learning in the EFL classroom. So in this section, you should include a link to your Symbaloo, to your personal learning environment. Then you have to justify why you chose the apps you decided to include, the tools you decided to use, and then you have to show how these new digital tools strengthen your teaching practice. Okay, so you have to uh, explain the contributions of the tools you include in your PLE. Finally, section 3 of your final paper should be a metacognitive reflection. Okay, so you are asked here to critically reflect on the didactic sequence that you design and how it's which are the implications of this sequence. Okay, so you have to identify all of the challenges that you might face when using this for real with your students. You should also reflect upon how you plan to overcome obstacles. Okay, thinking about strategies to address the problems that you may face. And finally, assess the pedagogical impact on learners and context. Okay, so these are the 3 sections of the final paper.
And they reflect here, we have reflected everything. We have, you have also mentioned during the Menti activity that the final project has challenges and you have to think ahead of which challenges you might find. Also reflection, a lot of reflection on your side, and you need to write down those reflections. It's not only your personal thinking, but also sharing with us, with the
No.
readers. And
So
also the impact, the possible impact for the future.
that's right.
So everything you have been already mentioning the concept. That's why I'm reminding you.
In the following slide, you will see which are the key aspects that you should take into account for the design of your final project, which are the following. Pedagogical foundation, okay, so you have to make ground decisions, right, about the final project, decisions that are relevant based on significant cognitive and digital age theories. Okay, your paper, your work should be relevant and authentic. Okay, they have to, or it should address real problems. Okay, with authentic materials. There should be in your final project this multimodal integration. Okay, combining different skills, written, oral, and visual modes should also be involved. You should also take into account the students as a prosumer agent, okay? So students as co-creators and involved in the co-design of activities and products. Digital tool integration is also relevant, okay? You have to justify at least the use of 5 tools or ICT tools. And the project should also be connected to other areas, other subjects, so to show some interdisciplinarity, right? And finally, a key aspect of the final project should also be that the fact that you can share it, that you can use it, that you can make it visible, okay? And well, maybe go beyond your own group of students and be used later on in the future with other groups. Now, regarding the formal structure of the paper, let's move on. Okay. Okay, here you go. Regarding the format, you should submit the paper as a PDF file. Okay, you can include an appendix that is optional. You might need to include, I don't know, a text or further activities in your appendix. So you can include one. However, it's not obligatory. It's up to the type of work you're writing. Okay, you're designing. The length of the paper should be between 5 and 8 pages, excluding the appendix. Okay, you should use, of course, academic English in writing. The font should be Times New Roman 11, spacing 1.5, and the margins should be 2 centimeters. Okay, the text should be justified. So try to follow these guidelines. Um, Maybe you can, after you finish writing the paper, please take some time to be sure that you follow these specifications. Regarding academic standards, you are expected to follow the 7th edition of APA, okay, for all the citations and references to authors. And when you submit your final paper, be sure that the name of the file contains your full name, surname and name, and references to the name of the module, module 3, _ final integrated task, okay? So that it's easier for us to know who the paper belongs to, okay? Once you submit your papers. You should submit the paper in your virtual classrooms in the activity section that will be part of module 3, okay? And the first due date to send your work is October 26th, okay? Up to, well, the very end of the day. There's a second date here, which is November 2nd, 2026. And these will be the only two possibilities. So we encourage you to try to meet the deadlines, especially the first one. In case you need more time, you can be given a second date, but these are the only two possibilities. Okay, we wanted to make that clear for you. And well, basically, this is the final paper proposal for you. Do you have any questions? Do you think that something was not clear? Feel free, please, to ask anything you need.
Yes, I think you are all on track, having predicted a lot of what we have said. But if you need to ask anything in particular, we are here to answer the questions. I think many of the concerns were already expressed when you were working with the Menti. But I wanted to share this slide again, because there you have all of the components, as we said, the innovation and the integration, but also think of interdisciplinarity, how you can share with other areas of knowledge, probably other teachers with whom you already work with. There are schools here in Tucumán in which colleagues work together in co-teaching projects, English and history, English and geography, or methodology, research methodology. There are different varieties. And also the multimodal integration. I think we cannot stress enough how this multimodality will help push your project forward. And you will have also in the class that we will publish the bibliography, supplementary bibliography related to this topic, to multimodal integration. Again, always having the student at the center, just because it is focused in the student. So let us transform our quiet student into a prosumer, into also an agent that can act as an agent, have good ideas, and co-work with others and with the teachers in the production, final production of this project. Okay, and also think of something that is visible that you can share with the school, with the school community, with parents. That's also always very motivating for everyone, yes, working on the project. I think to catch up from there.
Okay. So questions about the final paper, the final work, any of the sections, deadlines? Anyways, our email addresses will be shared with you so that you can send messages or ask any questions later, okay? In case you need to get in touch with us.
Yes. So other sections of this discussion and components for the final is to pay attention. Yes, going back to section 1 that Emilsa was talking about, was the didactic sequence, and how this didactic sequence helps us structure the learning process for and with students. And I like, again, I repeat again this idea that you bring in this integration that make it real for students, just because we buy them. Yes.
Oh, sorry for the interruption. I was wondering, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, but the didactic sequence, for example, is quite similar to what we did in Module 2. So I was thinking about using maybe the same didactic sequence and maybe improving it. Is it possible to use the same topic, or do we have to create a new one?
No, that's what I was also stressing at the beginning. Make all of the classes, the past works and classes and everything you have already produced and or something you are planning to do now for the final project. So try to make the class useful for what you meant to do in the future. So everything you do when you start courses like this, even if it is a diplomatura, it takes.
We can use it. Yes, all right. I was not sure if we had to like use it as the basis or if we could use it again. I mean,
yes, whenever you start a course like this, you start thinking everything I do has a purpose. So you're not doing doing something just for the sake of doing it and accomplishing a task, but because it is useful for something beyond. So we don't have time. We are very busy people just to be doing things without a purpose. So use everything you have, rewrite, rethink, or adapt, and everything can be used again. Because we need.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you for your participation, and that's open to all of you. If you have just any thought coming to your heads, just share with us so we can take advantage of those doubts or questions and make them useful for everyone. So the important thing is to think that all of these interconnected activities need to take our students into meaningful activities. That they are learning something by actively participating and making lots of connections at the cognitive level. So that's why you have the authors here. You have also authors, and they're shared in the bibliography. Diaz Barriga is a Mexican scholar, academician who works with this, and we share one of his productions. And for the sake of organization, they are divided in opening, development, and closing activities. But the important thing is that the student is always active, participating since the beginning, since the opening activities, especially, for example, when we establish a real world problem or a question and make students look for information, not only in internet searches, but I liked a lot the idea of making them do something, look actively for that information, not just Googling, but for example, asking or preparing an interview with a knowledgeable person. That would be a good way to activate knowledge and make students active in this search for information. Then the development activities should connect all of the information, previous knowledge and new information around tasks. Yes, that should be more meaningful and not only routinary. Because we're trying to take out of this idea that language is learned by studying it as an abstract object, but we can improve a lot by using the language with real tasks and making connections on the real life, yes, with real life activities. And the closing activities, yes, reconstruction tasks means that there are new proposals on the basis of already existing tasks, but also that there is something you can share, as I said before, not only an exit ticket, that is the closing activity of a class, but something that is an evidence, a result, a product, for example, a portfolio in which students can compile all of the work, all of the small parts of tasks or shorter tasks together, put together. So in this, with this didactic sequence, we are also thinking of something that comes later, that is this idea of active learning methodology, in which we change this position of students and teachers, teachers being active and students being more passive in this learning process. Here we share an example with food. With food, learning food. This is a topic we always have in our primary school programs, and we share this, well, going from the vocabulary of food, dealing with countable and uncountable nouns. We share this idea in which we turn this simple vocabulary learning into a reflective activity of healthy and junk food, for example. So we can go from simply learning words to presenting our students with a question about health. That is a real life problem for them. The warm-up, the activities, well, the core activities, of course, we have the famous language activities, the fill in the blank, and so on, but also something else as role-playing, for example, or preparing recipes that can later be displayed, yes, into, for example, fairs, yes, health fairs, science fairs in schools. Teachers that have been working in primary schools have been thinking of all these possibilities of participating in the science fairs, for example, with one of the topics, food, healthy food, and using all of this vocabulary that is present in every book, bibliography for children. So apart from just having an exit ticket, writing one sentence with a new word, you can have them prepare a recipe or preparing a presentation for a science fair. And in that sense, it becomes more real. The idea I was sharing with you, the idea of sharing all of these results of the projects with the community, with the parents, of course, because they would be happy to see their children display all of this knowledge in English. Okay, so going back to what I was saying, active learning centers on the student, and all of these approaches within active learning. If you conduct any research using AI-powered tools, for example, you will find lots of these approaches. We bring them back to center into two main ones, but of course, if you go deeper into this research, you will find a lot of authors that are mentioned here that have been discussing the topics of learning in social contexts, learning with others, social constructivism, and cognitive development of knowledge. So it's something you can, the bases are there, the seminal work is mentioned in the bibliography, but the important thing here is that all of these theories have influenced English language learning and making more relevant the fact that cognitive and communicative involvement are fundamental when learning a language. And this has come to be true through experiential and problem-solving approaches in which which have been under development in the last years. And not only based, we do not only want to base our proposal on the seminal work and theory, but also the empirical impact. And we share with you lots of studies and articles that have been proving the fact of how active learning has influenced positively the learning of the language. And here we have English as a foreign language, for example, a study by Thai professors who share these results with us, saying that attention, motivation, and self-efficacy have improved while using active learning approaches, as well as the willingness to communicate that exists in the literature as this wish students have to communicate in a foreign language whenever they have experienced all of this, when they are motivated, when they feel they can do it right, and have diminished, here, the arrow going down, have diminished anxiety, boredom, and passivity in the activity, in this activity to speak in a foreign language. We share these articles with you as well. So it is important for you to see how this theory comes to life in specific experiences carried out around the world in which English is taught as a second or a foreign language. Within all of the approaches of active learning, we focused on PBL, which is project-based learning. And of course, it's very much related to task-based, and sometimes the words are used together. PBL is task-based, but goes a little bit beyond in paying attention to the project, to the final, to that final element or product. I don't like that word very much, but it's the final product that you share with others. And that's why it came to be called project-based learning. So it is rooted in communicative language teaching, yes, and of course, it's based on the idea that if language is used in a functional, meaningful task in a communicative way, it can be learned more appropriately.
Sorry, Paula, could you please zoom your screen?
Zoom?
Full screen mode, could you please?
Which?
Too small.
Oh,
Apparently, we can't read very well.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So here, characteristics of PBL is that it's student-centered, as we said. We need the students always doing something purposeful. It is collaborative, learning-based. So it is better to learn with others. And there we have Vygotsky with the zone of proximal development, how you learn with more knowledgeable ones. It's task-based, of course. We said we establish basic tasks that students do, but that need to be probably not only related to language specific, but also to other tasks that are more authentic. And we have some examples here, journaling or role-playing or creative writing. And scaffolded, this idea that students learn from clear expectations, feedback, and level appropriate support that comes not only from teachers, but also from peers. And in here we share this thesis. Of course, it's not for you to, they are not very long papers, but of course you focus, whenever we share a thesis, it's just to focus on what interests us most. And this thesis just focuses on active strategies for writing. So that's one of the ideas that you can use later for your projects. All right. It is shared with you in the bibliography. And also, we mentioned finally, last but not least, I think, the digital tools. These tools that support lesson planning, resource creation, rubric design. Many of you have already seen them or probably are using them. We have different ones with different, we can use them for different purposes, and we are going to practice a little bit with that group work that we were announcing at the beginning, just to do some practice in groups on how you can use these tools to design your projects. This one on the left, the instructional design tools, with APA referencing this on green, on the right on the right. This is a tool that you can use for academic writing. Whenever you're writing your project in academic style, you will need to focus on how Purdue OWL can help you with this APA style formatting. Yes, Purdue OWL is a section hosted on the website of Purdue University. It is managed by postgraduate students who keep this section alive and help you with citation and writing guidance. So they have elements, so they have their tools that can help you with editing your writing, with your doubts about how to cite resources and bibliography. So in the class, of course, in the class document, you will find the links. Okay, and this is the preparation for activity 1. So keep an eye on this. This is an example that we give you so that we can join groups quickly and have quick discussion. And the context is a proposal for EFL students to create and publish a digital fashion magazine. So that will be our project-based activity for the class, let us say. It's just an example. And for that purpose, you need to combine language learning and creative production through collaborative, purposeful work. Here we have some ideas for vocabulary and grammar and objectives. And the final product we know is a digital magazine. As I said, it's a product that you can share and show to others. And here we have we are going to share this in the access links in the chat for you to have access, the different tools and the activity. Well, here, sorry, the writing is tiny, but we needed to condense. We can share also the link to the presentation, so we can condense lots of information. But this is to work here in class, okay, here today. The idea is to join in groups. We're going to just randomly divide in groups, and you will create a lesson plan using the suggested digital tool. So we will, with the wheel of names, we will just assign different tools to different groups. So we have different experiences with the use of the tools. In groups, you will discuss and decide on the learning objectives, language content, opening, development, closure activities, follow-up activities, and the final product in a project, or this mock project, let us say. And you will need to later share some preliminary results in the class plenary. That will come later. Okay. And in the class plenary, we will discuss different issues after you have the experience of experimenting with the tools. Yes? So you will have to refer to pedagogical coherence, teacher agency, duration. Yes, because you're not only the agent, the teacher, the one that develops the first ideas for the project, but you're also a curator of those materials that you can find using AI generated tools. Then the levels of scaffolding, then process efficiency and creativity, and the practical feasibility. And that's something you mentioned in the Menti, and you want your project to be carried out, to come to life. So those are aspects that we can discuss later. Okay.
So there are 14 students. There should be 2 or 3 students in each group.
Okay. And we have you can write. First of all, you will be able to see the wheel of name. And share with you. And we will write, yes, group 1, group 2, different tools. Of course, this is not mandatory, but just for organization's sake. The idea is that you practice with different tools. It's not mandatory. So here is the wheel of names. So let us see. Just we need some people to write down group 1, group 2. Okay, group 5 will work with to teach AI. To teach AI. But later on we will divide it. So we'll divide the group 1. Let's go. Group 3 will be taken. I will take a lab. I think you already. 6, DFID. Magic 4. Okay, 2, magic. And 4 is Breeze. Okay, we will divide you in groups. How long will they have to do this activity?
Probably 20 minutes.
How many minutes?
20 minutes. Do you think it's enough time to come up with a lesson plan and reflect upon the questions to analyze whether it met all the
Okay, we
expected
will go, we
outcome.
will come into the rooms and talk to you and see.
And share the links in each group. The links
Yes,
to the
share the links first of all, and then I need to see if I have completed oops, I don't know whether you shared with me. Okay, I think I need to check, but I will share the links. That will be the first thing. And we will need to check our colleague about the division of groups. Melissa, can you ask Noelia? I think I don't have here the command to divide in groups myself. Okay. Okay, yes, exactly. Okay, thank you, Andrea. Andrea, share the groups, yes. And these are the links. Wait. Okay. I am sharing. I hope you can access from the chat. Okay. We are checking, I am checking with our colleague about how do we divide, because I don't have the permission to divide in groups.
Do you want me to do it?
So I
Paula,
need-
I'm here. I can
Yes,
do it.
yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, I am ready. How many groups?
So we
6
have
groups.
6 groups, 14 people.
6.
So you will have 2 people. So
13 people, I think. 13.
you will have groups of 2 to.
Okay. 2 and 1 with 3 people.
Yes.
One is that.
Okay. So we will. Who's calling you?
It is. Okay. There we go.
Right. Okay, Natalia, can you access? Natalia, can you access your room? Okay.
With group 1, if you're ready.
Mhm.
Paula and Susana, you work with SlideGo.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
what would you like to share?
Okay.
Do you want me to share my screen to see our final outcome?
Okay, please.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share. Okay, test someone else is sharing. Maybe Paula could stop sharing.
Yes.
It's for me.
Okay, there you are.
Okay, now. Okay, so with Susana, we were thinking about the 5th grade in primary school, and we decided to try to do the lesson based on places to visit in Argentina using the past simple, and try to make it into lessons. At the beginning, we had problems with SlideGo because my computer went crazy. I don't know why. And then we made a prompt like 3 times because the slides gave us different things. And this
Yes,
is
at the
final
beginning we
outcome.
have images from, yes.
Yes. It gave us pictures from around the world instead of only from Argentina.
Yes,
And
from Argentina.
yeah. Well, here give us like a warm-up to describe the landmark by showing the students different photos. And then explains the past simple, sorry. We want to add more pictures here, but the SlideGo didn't add any, I don't know why. Okay, then we have some iconic places for students to look up and try to describe them. Here I think yes, the Iguazu Falls. Then we have the spelling. We want to make more changes because this is like only a text. And then we have the steps for our class. To choose a picture, then select subjects for them to speak in
Right.
first or third or second person. The verb they want to use, and the time phrase. And here divided the lesson in 2 classes. Class 1, we have the warm-up, the presentation, a practice, and if the closure would be a paired talk. So this is, yes, more speaking. And the second class, we have another warm-up and a guided writing. And Susana also suggests that we use some corrections to maybe show the students the common errors so we can anticipate and correcting them. And well, it gave us an advice for teachers to explain this topic. And this is all SlideGo gave us. And this was the 3rd prompt that we tried to use.
Okay. So, were you pleased with the results?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are, but we would like to add more pictures, more
we have our
color,
difficulties.
to make the presentation more
Appealing,
more
maybe?
catchy.
We had to rewrite 3 times the prompts because they were not as we wanted. They were not very accurate, and
Yes.
Okay.
perhaps the pictures were not the right ones.
Yes.
However, you had specified in the prompt that it should be about Argentina, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The final product to share, which will it be? A guide, a tourist guide, or something like that?
Yes. The students would become guides, and they will speak and then write about the place that they choose.
Okay, great.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
great.
So regarding the second issue here,
Yeah.
on screen. I don't know if you have them on screen, about teacher agency and curation. So regarding this aspect, how much AI generated content needed editing or would it need um, in the future or later? How much you need it or you think you would need to remove or change?
Okay, I think more than 3 times because it has to be very specific.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
besides we include that it has to be
Yes,
for
because at the beginning
Argentina.
the pictures were not right.
Yes.
Okay.
At the beginning we have pictures from the
Eiffel Tower.
from
Oh,
Paris,
yeah,
the Eiffel Tower. Yes,
Europe.
Yeah.
Yes, Europe. Yeah.
And it also makes some mistakes explaining the past simple. We have some structures in the present.
Okay.
yes.
So we should check the final outcome.
Of course. Always.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, very good.
Okay.
So keep in mind whenever you do your reflective process.
Okay.
So second group, the second
Yes.
group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, girls. Magic School, Group 2.
Thanks.
Awesome.
I can't find the name, sorry, of one of my partners who has good information to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah, sorry.
There
I
you
don't know
are.
why I thought we were group 5, so I was like, let me see.
Okay, but
Okay.
basically we didn't know this tool, so we started to explore it, and this tool has different tools. Yeah, this platform has different tools, so you can generate a lesson plan, you can generate pictures. So we have been exploring a little bit. So the first thing we explored was the lesson plan. Well, I don't know if my
Can you
We
partners
can see
want
it,
to.
yes. About San Martin. Okay.
Mm.
So it was interesting because when you have the part to create the prompt, you have also a tool to improve your prompt. So in that sense, I think it was nice. It generated a complete lesson plan with all the information. And but it's just like the plan, there is no more. So we
Okay.
used some other resources. We started checking everything we found, like the quiz. But again, we gave the prompt and the quiz that was generated. It has the options, but it's not like interactive or anything. It's something very useful for a test, I think, but not very
Right.
interesting for a class. And we try to create a presentation, but it only gives us the what to put on each slide. So we will have to do the presentation ourselves. And well,
Using a different tool, right?
yeah.
And we
So
used
it was not very practical.
that. I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry, Andrea.
Something that I couldn't see there where it says my resources is we tried to make pictures, for example, for the warm-up of the lesson plan. So the prompt was like, create a picture of General José San Martin. And we provided some extra information, and the pictures were quite funny. Like they were different. Do you have them to share? Because they were interesting. They were
Were
pictures
they
of different people
cartoon-like
that.
pictures? Oh.
Sorry?
Cartoon-like pictures?
The
Yes.
pictures were horrible.
No, actually,
But
they were like illustrations. The names were written wrong. But then we said, okay, let's try by writing, for example, create a picture about the liberation of Peru, Argentina, and Chile. And it created a picture with the Statue of Liberty. So,
Oh,
like Peru, Argentina, Chile, but the statue. So,
right.
Mhm.
They're always
of the United States.
yes,
there,
I
right?
see it, but I cannot
They're always
find it.
involved. Okay.
But
It's
the
okay.
one
But
from
then,
there that was very, very nice was the song generator.
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you
If
would
you
say
want-
that that is the most useful section or part of the tool.
We didn't have time to explore everything, but from the tools that we explored, that one was the best one because we asked to create a march about San Martin for this level for primary for students of 7th grade. And well, Maria Fernanda, I don't know if you have it there to share. It was a really good march.
Yes.
And you can choose the voice if you want a female voice, like
Yes.
K-pop, also the genre, like if you want rock and roll.
Well, that can be
or
fun for
classical.
students. You can share it. It would be great. There it is.
Let's see.
Mhm.
There was a general from the south, a hero brave and true. José de San Martín was his name, with a bold and daring crew.
In Argentina, Chile too, he fought for freedom's call, leading armies through the mountains, liberating one and all. San Martín, marching through the land. San Martín, with his fearless band, breaking chains of Spanish rule, fighting for the free. José de San Martín's the hero of liberty.
There was a
So,
And it gives you the lyrics, so you can also read
Great.
the lyrics.
It's so fun. So fun.
that's it.
I have someone dancing here behind me. So okay, so I think that could be really appealing for students, right? Especially if you're working with young students and kids.
Yeah, and you think it's doable, you can carry this project out as well. Do you think you can do it live?
We thought of primary school students for what was the name of the other girl in our group?
Jessica.
Jessica, yes. But well, I don't know if
Both-
we could.
Yes, both Maria Fernanda and I work with adults, and Jessica works with primary and secondary school children, students, sorry. So we decided to use that, but maybe we should adapt it for adults, of course. We should
Yeah.
find like something different or a different way of using it.
It'd be fun for them too.
Yes, and we should to use another applications to do the other activities. For example, the pictures, the images,
Mhm.
worksheets too.
Mhm. Okay, thank you for sharing. So group 3, you work with Eduteca. Eduteca has lots of materials to share as well. Group 3,
Here we are.
Yes, we are.
I
Here we are.
worked with Gabriela. We
Yes.
had to create a lesson plan. I'm going to share the
The
page.
topic was, yes, comparatives and superlatives. Our idea was to start with comparatives only. Yeah, but I think that we ran out of time to keep discovering the website, the tool. So yes, we only did the lesson plan.
But taking a look, just a quick look, because as
Mhm.
Gabriela said, we didn't have much time to do it, but there are other resources that we can maybe take a look at that later on.
Explore later. Okay.
Additional resources similar to the other groups with
Yes.
Magic
yes.
School. Good. So what I wanted to share first is how you can create a lesson plan. So
Yes, like
I don't know
the
if
process.
the process. So I don't know if it is possible for you to see, but if you click on
Yes.
Dimensión Educativa, you get the different options. So at this point, you just have to choose from the list of options that you have. The topic, of course, is the one that you can or that you have to state. And
Yes.
then you have methodology again from a set of options. You have to choose the one that you like, number of sessions, number of classes or lessons, and the time that each
Yes.
lesson
The
takes.
allotted time. Yes, yes. And
Objective-
here we wrote the objectives. Yeah. Sorry,
That's
sorry.
No, that's perfect. Objectives, and then you click on generate. the results we got is the following. I'm going to share then
We downloaded to
format.
doc version to the doc in a document because we wanted to improve ourselves some things that we didn't like. Yeah. So
Right. This is the only one that gives you answers or provides the answers in Spanish. So did you see that like a problem?
well, in my case, I don't know, Andrea, but here in Tucumán, most of the planifications must be in Spanish. So,
yeah,
so
it could be an
sorry,
advantage. No problem. In the end.
Yes. It is a good guide also.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, we were like revising it, tailoring it, because we wanted maybe to change, for example, activity 1, but it gives you a really good, for example, description, introduction. It tells you the educational context. So I think we think that it is a really good tool. Sorry. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, this
So
is the
it will
result.
be-
As you say, Miss Emilce is in Spanish, but yeah, it's really easy to use. But I know we know that that there are so many options inside the tool, but we didn't have the time.
Okay.
In this case, as Gabriela said, if we want to make any modifications, we can download, for example, in a PDF document and maybe do some modifications there. I was also thinking if it is possible to copy the output we got, that in this case is this lesson plan, and paste it on, I don't know, Gemini or Copilot and see what happens. Maybe asking the AI to introduce the changes that we want, modify
Yes.
this in session
improve it.
1, include
Yes.
this, modify this other thing, and probably we can get a lesson plan that is, or that
that
is
fit
better to
fit
the-
our likes the best.
Okay, that is
Our
better
liking.
suited to your needs. Okay.
Yes.
And regarding
yes,
the
yes.
product, you mentioned that you devised this lesson thinking about comparatives and superlatives. Did you think of a final product that students could produce, that the students could make, put together?
Yes, I think that is a present
project.
Yes, a project.
For session 3.
Okay.
Miren que tu presentación,
When-
folleto. Comparing
Yes.
places, people.
Okay. Brochure comparing to places, people, objects,
Yes.
activities. Okay.
Maybe useful for muestras pedagógicas at the end of the
Right.
year. Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But we
Yeah,
will
right.
So yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's
All right.
basically all.
Emilce, so sorry to interrupt. Hello, everyone. They asked in the chat to create a folder to share your productions. So I did. I created a drive for you to drop your files there so you can see them all. Just wanted to say that.
Thank you, Noelia. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. And also, in addition, on the virtual classroom, you can see a forum that will be open. So you share there also your questions, your doubts, whenever you're working and you do not have anyone to ask how to continue if you're stuck. Go there, go to the forum. We will be reading and we will all be sharing. Yes, so this will be the task for this class. Yes, participate in the forum, share your questions, your doubts, some solutions you have found, some new tools that you could explore. So everything will be welcome there to continue the discussion among colleagues. Okay, so thank you for mentioning and share what you have produced today. Also, that will be your exit ticket for this class. Thank you. Okay, group 4 is that the ones who worked with BRISC, and you had a specific situation to share with your colleagues when using BRISC. You can share.
Hi. No, we actually didn't know the app. it can do a lot of things, and that is fantastic. It can create presentations. We asked for the lesson plan. We asked the app to create a lesson plan. We use the one in the example that you gave us earlier. And for the fashion magazine and that, we improved the prompt with AI and gave the prompt to Brisk. And the result was a very interesting lesson plan. But the point is that it has to be adapted. There are many things to adapt from that lesson plan because it assumes a lot of things. It assumes time is not realistic. It assumes that students organize themselves quickly into groups. It assumes students know how to use the different tools it suggests. We asked for a 60-minute lesson, but maybe the lesson it proposes is for an 80-minute class minimum. Well, if the students were perfect, if their use of tools was perfect, they could in 60 minutes, but we know that's not real. So there are a lot of things to check from the lesson plan. But besides that, it is very quick. And I think it's a very interesting tool. I didn't know it and I liked it a lot. There are many options to use, presentation, I think, videos, and many things. I liked it a lot.
I would like to add that this AI can give you feedback for students, also rubrics to evaluate them. And I find it really interesting because in less than 30 seconds, it gave us a lesson plan of 9 pages or something like that.
Yes.
And it opened Drive instantly with all the lesson plan.
So
and
saving
the
time was
activities.
amazing.
Yes, so you can change there, you can improve it. So it was really interesting. I didn't know it. But the real thing is that you have to create the extension because it is an extension of Chrome.
Yes, so Miss
Right,
Elizabeth.
you install
So you have to
there,
install it.
it remains.
Install it, yes, you have to install it. Yes, and it will appear there.
Yeah, and
Once
it's
you-
always there, reminding you of its presence, and so you can click and use it. Well, from now on, I have it and I use it quite frequently. So yeah. So considering the question of efficiency and creativity beyond saving time, did you consider options you have not considered before? I guess you did because you mentioned rubrics and feedback that you can provide your students, right?
I'm sorry, the audio is not so good, so I couldn't quite understand the question because the audio is not so good. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yes, apparently I'm having problems with my internet connection. I was referring to question 5 about efficiency and creativity, but I think that you have answered this already. Beyond saving time, the AI, this tool suggested options you had not considered. That was a question, and I think you have a positive answer for that because you mentioned rubrics and you mentioned
Yes, it gives
feedback.
you rubrics and I thought that was very interesting because not all AIs, when you ask for a lesson plan, hand it back to you, including rubrics for that specific lesson. So I thought that was very interesting and I liked it. It includes, the plan includes a mini rubric that you can use, and I liked it a lot.
Okay. So we hope that you can include it or use it or make the most of it when thinking about your final project for this course. Okay. Thank you very much, Natalia and Flavia, for sharing.
Thank you. Group 5 is to teach AI. Group 5?
The mic is not working, as Florencia. The mic is not working. I mean, you.
Here.
Okay, so.
Mhm.
And I think that to have to work with a tool called to teach AI, and we decided to work with example that you gave us, and the result was a bit kind of weird at the beginning because we didn't know exactly. We were expecting like a worksheet, of course, but it came out with a lesson plan. It was good, I think, but I think that we thought no, I think or that it is for people who speak English and not for people who are like learning like their language as a second language, you know. It's got
Sorry, did you
it's got
specify
a
that in the
prompt.
prompt, Enrique?
Yes, we tried the prompt that you gave us. It is not a prompt. It is the instructions, right? Can you share, Florencia? I think.
The instructions, you mean?
I think, yeah.
Can you see what I'm sharing now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So wait a minute. Yes, the activity 1 was it. This
Yeah.
was the activity 1 project example digital fashion magazine. That's what we
Yes.
asked it to do, to prepare. But the thing is that it says present tenses for trends and wears and wear, adjectives for people and clothing, and it didn't work very much on that. It just designed activities more related to the content. Yes, about fashion, but not so much, didn't pay so much attention to
grammar, language.
teaching
Grammar,
a
yeah.
language, right.
Okay.
But well, it gives a good idea of this part. Maybe we have to include the other parts that is referred to language teaching, learning.
Yes, exactly.
And then it gives us here a worksheet. But again, the level is for people, not for beginners.
Yeah.
Yes, but well, it might be useful. Yes,
Do you think that
for
if
some-
you refine the prompt and specify that you need this lesson or for beginners, it will be better tuned, better?
Yes.
Probably,
Yes, definitely.
yes.
I think yes, definitely.
And here-
What about the
before that-
worksheet? Was the worksheet what you expected? Was it? Do you think you can use it with your students? Does it need a lot of editing?
Yes.
I don't think so. But I mean,
we have- Yes.
Yes.
Speak sorry. Speak sorry.
No, we have to adapt that what we said before about the level. But if we have I don't know, a higher level students, then it was great, I think.
Okay. Are you currently working with young learners,
Yes.
or
Yes.
do you have adult learners that you can maybe use this plan for?
I work with adults, but they are beginners. So
Okay. Okay.
Similar. And also, yes. When we have to pay to continue like working with the worksheet.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the tools they have a paid subscription.
Yeah. Okay, so excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
And you have another,
Okay, thank you very much.
tool.
But it was nice, but we have to keep on like exploring and working and like tailoring as well, of course. But it was fun to
Yes, of course, of course.
Yeah.
And the final
We're
project,
just
yes, you can draw from different tools.
yes, and
Yes,
besides here, of course, we have just limited time to explore the apps and the tools. But you know now from what your
Yes.
classmates are sharing and from your own work
Yes,
with
of course.
tools, maybe you know which one, or you can choose which one to explore further at home with, of course, more time and thinking about your particular group of students and
Yes,
everything
definitely.
you want, right? Okay. So this
Yes,
is
definitely.
a first glance at these tools.
Yes, of course.
Of course. Thank you very much for sharing.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, group 6.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we also kept the same topic of creating the fashion magazine. And we have to use Diffit.
Yes, work with Diffit.
Yes. So, well, first we thought about the objectives and the introductory activities separated from the platform we had to use. So then, Normi, we can also we can share the first version
Okay.
first if you
yes.
want.
Okay.
Okay. So we started with the objectives and the introductory activities, and then we used Gemini to help us create the prompt to use it on Diffit. So as we already had the objectives and the introductory activities, the lesson plan that we created with Diffit started from the development. It only had the development, the closure, and the follow-up. If you let me, I will share that first version. Narmi, can you stop sharing so that I can share?
Okay, sorry, I will. There it is.
Yes. So this was the first version. When we first created this, I was a bit lost because I only saw a worksheet, but I couldn't see the lesson plan. But then I found it below. Yes, we have first all the worksheet with all the activities. And at the end, we have the lesson plan. Yes, with all the digital tools, the different stages, and as you can see, it starts with the development. Yes, so the closure and the follow-up. So then we refine the prompt, and we had this version, the complete version, with all the objectives, the opening phase, all the instructions. And at the end, we also included the rubric for evaluation.
Right. And in this second version, what we could see is that there is a pedagogical coherence because it starts from the very basic parts of language, from vocabulary, and then it starts growing and it divides I mean, it's not only one lesson in particular, but it gave us like different lessons for different classes to make a sequence until we get to the final product, that is the fashion magazine. And it also included instances of peer correction, for instance, and self-reflective questions for students to it says, to reflect on their language use and on the vocabulary. And what else? I think that it is quite feasible to be put into practice, because many of the ideas, as we with Aileen, we gave in the prompts like a detailed description of the language we want students to use and the language level they had. So I think that the activities are quite realistic and possible to be carried out in a secondary school class, especially at a public school where you do not have so I mean, like connectivity, the kind of connectivity that we wish, but you can adapt some of this activity to be done in class if you share, for instance, for some moments, the internet, or it also has activities that students can do at home, and not everything is going to be done in the classroom, but outside home too. And it also aims at critical thinking and discussion.
Yeah.
So it seems to be quite complete, quite comprehensive.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
That
Okay. Yeah, I can see that there are pictures also. So were you pleased with the results?
Yes,
Yes.
I like it. We had some problems at the beginning because we didn't know how to organize the prompts that we were going to give it, and we didn't know exactly where to put that information, because it has like different screens there that you can choose from. But once you get familiar with the app, I think that it can be very useful.
Yeah. So would you consider using it for real?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm happy. Yeah, I can see that it's quite comprehensive. Yeah.
Excellent. So the results are excellent. The participation as well. Thank you for sharing. And what we know we didn't have, well, you had time to work on your own, but we didn't have so much of a break. But we really thank you for your active participation. Yes? So it is important that you participate and share your ideas and thoughts, thoughts.
Okay. We
can-
had planned to present you with the second activity, which was also a group activity to use another tool. Gemini did research to search for information and then analyze all the sources that it suggests, and think critically about how this tool works. But well, unfortunately, it takes time. So we have decided to keep that activity and work with this the next time we meet, which is going to be by the end of this module. All right.
All right.
So
you have job to do. Yes. So we said you have you have this forum on the virtual classroom to participate, to share. Then you have also this tool created by Miss Noelia to upload everything, all of the materials you have produced today, which will be, as I said, your exit ticket, and also to share with your colleagues everything you could devise and produce so that others can profit from that as well. And this forum will also be open for as we said, for doubts, for challenges you find, also for advantages, disadvantages you find whenever you're preparing your project. Also, bear in mind you can contact us. Yes, so you will find our contact.
Okay, so we encourage you, please, to start thinking about your final project. Okay, to start, defining your objectives, thinking about the learner group you want to work with, and start making decisions, okay, for the final project.
Yes, we will meet again in October, but you have all of the other classes coming this upcoming month. You will have synchronous and asynchronous classes, so try to get the gist of everything.
Yeah, we would like to have a look at anything you can write down or produce until our next meeting. So that's the idea, right? That next time we meet, you can show us the progress of your work, okay? So that you can finish polishing all the aspects you are still pending, or to ask anything you need, okay? So, well,
we remind you the deadlines, the dates. So start from that deadline to a plan backwards.
Right. The idea is that you start now, okay?
Yes, and see what you can do in every class to finish on time. Remember, all of the final grades need to be ready by November. That's why we are in a hurry to have your projects as soon as possible. Okay, so if you have any doubts, you can click now, share with everyone, and we're ready to say goodbye for today, for this week.
Sorry, Miss, the forum, sorry, is the only activity?
Yes, that's the
Just
activity.
to be clear. Yes.
Yes, it's the activity. You will participate there. Also, upload these materials you have produced today. These two.
Yes. And of course, the main activity is that you start thinking and getting organized with your final project. That is like the main activity that, of course, takes time. Okay, so start, go through the assignment, which is uploaded in the classroom, read it in detail, right? And, you can reach out in case there's something that is not clear or, for any questions or comments, okay? So, the forum and, of course, starting with the final project. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for joining today.
Thank you, Miss
Thank
Emilce.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, see you.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, same to you.
Very good
Bye-bye.